So the first floor, you would walk into the foyer on the first floor here, and this is, all of the exhibits are upstairs because we wanted people to have a view of the sanctuary from the exhibit area. It is going to have a small little gift area. Our offices are in the back, and then our classroom as well as our public restrooms. But most people will come into the front, there's a reception desk there, and then they're going to go up the stairs, which have a really beautiful set of translucent films that will be in the window. So this is just a placeholder image, but something like this cathedral effect will be what draws people up the stairs to get them to the exhibits on the second floor. And the second floor, people will come up the stairs here, have an introduction to the National Marine Sanctuary Program and the Monterey Bay National Marine Sanctuary with a topographic map. People love maps for some reason. We have a big water gallery that talks about basically your connection with water and watersheds, that everybody lives in a watershed. We have a watershed model to crank water through. There's also a whole display about point source pollution, beach closures, and basically how you, us, we, are responsible for a lot of what's happening out there and how you can mitigate that. And one of my favorite pieces here that I wish I could show you are a series of cutouts. We have a cutout of a farmer, a cutout of a researcher, and a cutout of a water quality monitoring volunteer, each saying what they do. This is what I do, and this is how I protect the sanctuary. And the last piece is a big mirror, and it's you. And it talks about the things that you can do every day to help improve water quality. So, nice little message here. We have a really nice research gallery here that talks about the different depths. It starts at the rocky shores and goes all the way down into the deep canyon and Davidson Seamount. We'll have geologic specimens, and we have 2 different interactives that people can take a deep dive down and do research and as well as some side scan. Then we head into the next area. Let me move forward into our little theater. It's a small theater designed to house about the size of a classroom, about 30 people. It will have a fairly interactive program. We are having a film made about the Monterey Bay National Marine Sanctuary. Bob Talbot, who's a fairly renowned photographer and videographer, is putting that together for us. But it's also going to be set up to do telecommunications. One of the things that the Sanctuary program does is have cameras, underwater cameras in different locations throughout the nation at our National Marine Sanctuaries. And very often we can go live to another sanctuary, check it out. Hopefully we'll be able to go live to ours again. We've had that for a while. It's been offline for a little bit, but we'll be able to dive back in, pilot the camera that's there, and also be able to experience some of the presentations or missions that are going on in other sanctuaries. We do a lot with satellite and also microwave transmissions, so we can share in what's happening in the research around the country. Okay, next slide. After you exit the theater, you come into our biodiversity gallery, which has tide pools, kelp forests, and a deep sea area. So our tide pool area has an interactive, touchable tide pool. It talks when you touch certain things. This is for the littler people, but the big people like it as well. We'll have an identification area where you can actually learn about different animals. One of the things that's different about this tide pool is it's a dry tide pool, and that was because many of our peers and the folks that deal with exhibits in the area, we looked at how many different people had live animals, and we didn't want to compete with anybody. So making sure that leave the live animals to the folks who are already doing live animals, and make sure that we're directing people who are interested in that to those other locations. We really want to be a hub to send people out to learn more. If they want to learn more about research, go to the Seymour. If you want to learn more about the animals, there's Seacliff. There's also the Monterey Bay Aquarium. And the gorilla sitting over. I was there. I worked for them for 10 years, so I love them. And then a neat interactive about monitoring and what we do, why we monitor, and what it tells us about the health of the sanctuary. But we wanted to really try and keep this interactive and not necessarily with the expectation of touch. As you come around the corner here, you'll move into the kelp forest area, which will be models. We've been doing some prototypes, and they were really excited about them. They look very nice and real. And then we also have some interactives here One that will tell you about the different animals. I'm very excited about this one. This is a new product from 3M called Vacuity. It's a rear projection, but it looks live. It's just phenomenal. I'm really excited. You can scroll up and down through the kelp forest and learn about the different levels and creatures. We also have a small area that talks about sustainable fishing and fisheries. We'll be highlighting the squid fishery, and so you see the hull of the boat. And then the last big exhibit where we do have water is the Deep Canyon, and it would be actually very hard to see the animals in it, but that's why we have a little ROV that you can pilot to actually find and see what's down there, and what the person who's driving it sees will be displayed up above, so other people can see what's going on as well. Each of these have labels and messaging that helps connect people to their actions and this particular exhibit or this particular habitat, which is harder in the deep sea, but we will have trash in the deep sea, because there is, we see it all the time. So really kind of highlight how even in the deep sea we have those kinds of impacts. And then finally, in our conclusion gallery, we'll have it's another small screen, but it will be highlighting a little bit about the seasons of the sea, some of that charismatic megafauna, because we don't have any big animals in there, highlighting some of that, and also this will be an opportunity for us to talk a little bit about climate. And then our exit gallery then has a banks of videos of different activities and habitats of people enjoying it, but really with the message of this is your sanctuary, use it lightly, get involved. So that's the exhibits in a nutshell. What we're looking at in terms of completion is the building is being constructed as we speak. We hope to have the keys sometime in December, late November, early December. Exhibit installation will start at that time, with hopefully a summer 2012 grand opening, which also coincides with the sanctuary's 20th anniversary.